This episode of the Beer Leaguer podcast is something a little bit different. This is actually the audio portion of a video review I did for the Warroad Undershirt. Now, the full video is available on the Beer Leaguer YouTube channel and at thebeerleaguer.com. If you want to see any of the visuals I'm mentioning, go check out that video. But without any further ado, here's the review.
Hey everybody, Beer Leaguer here with an equipment review. This time it is the Warroad Undershirt, base layer shirt, whatever you want to call it. So I've had this guy for about a year now. It's held up pretty good. The shirt itself, there has been some stuff here. I'll kind of go right into this with the seams kind of getting beat up a little bit, but everything stayed together. Nothing's like ripping apart or falling apart or anything like that. It's still in pretty decent shape. So a couple features for this version. This is obviously without the neck guard that they now have in there. I think you can get those integrated. This does not have that. What this does have is, these little rubbery kind of things that they have on the sleeves. You can kind of see that full sleeve. And this helps hold in your elbow pads. And then the big thing that this guy has is the Pro Lock. And what this is it's like a sleeve over the sleeve. This has those little rubbery bits inside here, and you pull this up over, and that's supposed to help lock in your elbow pads even more. And then it's got this little cut-resistant guide for your wrists right here. So instead of wearing like extra padding for it, you've got this built into the shirt. This works pretty nicely for holding in your elbow pads. Does it work better than just rolling up your sleeves? Not really. I mean, the little grippies are nice, but it's not that much better than doing that. It's also, I will say, a little bit awkward. It has these little pull tab guys here that are supposed to help you out. It kind of makes it a little awkward with the big cuff that's on here. This big different fabric cuff here to pull up. Like, that helps hold it in better. It's definitely tighter, but it does make it a little bit weird to roll that and pull that up your sleeve. You're kind of rolling it and trying to pull it with one hand. So it's a little bit weird to do that. But if you have your elbow pads fall down a lot, that's going to help. It's going to do more than just rolling up your sleeves. So you got that. Otherwise, pretty standard, kind of like wick-away undergarment here. Nothing too crazy with it. It's kind of a loose fit. Pretty nice. I'll show you how it fits. I will throw this on and show you guys what it looks like. All right, and while I'm putting this on, I'm actually going to show you one of the not so great things about this shirt is actually getting the sleeves on. Because we do have this kind of more compressed slash guard kind of guy thing here. And like I said, this roll down cuff here. The sleeves, you kind of have to pull them on, and they stay in place real good, but you have to like pull them up a little bit, unlike a lot of the other kind of base layer shirts that just kind of go on and stay on, because this is not a super tight one. You can kind of see here, I'll kind of pan the camera down a little bit. Woo! You can sort of see it's not a super tight shirt by any means, but it is, it's not loose. It's actually really, really comfortable. It's really, really nice underneath all the gear, because I do have some of these shirts that are really tight, and you kind of feel them the whole time, kind of, compressing you, which maybe you like that, but this is not that. I also have ones that are super loose that are like wearing a t-shirt underneath, which those are nice. This is closer to kind of that. It's kind of a middle ground there of compressing you and then also being loose like a t-shirt. It's not as loose as that, and it's not as tight as that, but it's kind of right in the middle of it. It does do a really good job of, kind of wicking away sweat. And I say that because when I take it off after games, it's soaked. So it does do a good job with that, which is nice. The seams don't bother you at all. They are those like nice flat seams on the outside, which is nice because then on the inside, they're super flat too. So like I was kind of saying with stuff wearing, let me kind of show you here. On the sleeve here, I do roll these up every game that I wear with them, and like I said, this has been after about a year of use. It is starting to wear. Right there, you can see my hand through that. That is starting to wear and get beat up. It's not even the stitching; it's just the fabric is starting to break up and wear out, which not great. I'm not concerned about it, completely disintegrating anytime soon, but again, not great after a year. This, you can see here, this wrist protection right here on both of these, that's in really good shape. That's really nice. This is pretty compressed. This is a heavier material than the rest of the shirt, which makes sense because it's like a cut resistant material on here. But that's nice. You can forego having like those slash guards if you're worried about getting cut or something on your wrists, because it is built in with it. But like I was saying, when you put on elbow pads, you put on your elbow pads and you're trying to put this on, you have to do it inside out like that, and then like use these little loops on here to kind of work the way up. And you can see it's not going too bad, but I don't have elbow pads on. But if you have any kind of bulk to your elbow pads, you have to kind of pull this out and around it and work its way up to lock it in. Not the easiest thing in the world. Definitely not as easy as just rolling up the sleeves on a regular one of these shirts. But it does hold the stuff in really good. It does hold in your elbow pads really good. And you can see it goes kind of all the way up here. So it's going to it goes all the way up to your elbow. So it really does hold everything in place. So your elbow pads are not sliding around. So it does prevent that. It does do what it's supposed to do. But it's a little bit trickier to put them on with that. So overall, what do I think of this Warroad shirt? I really like it. It's super comfortable. It's definitely one of the most comfortable kind of like undergarment shirts that I've worn. I do wish that it had the neck guard, but that's gotten to be a huge thing now because USA Hockey has said all the kids have to have those, so not everybody has them, and they had a huge run on them. They have them in there now where you can buy it with the neck guard. I believe it's like the same kind of material here. That would be nice, because I like having everything all in one. I don't like having a bunch of pieces to put on, but obviously I got it without that. Does this slash guard work? I don't know. Haven't gotten cut with a skate there, so I don't know. Seems like it would. Seems like it's the same kind of stuff that I would have like in my socks or something. This elbow, this pro lock, definitely works, but it is kind of tricky. And like I said, like I showed on here, this one is the bad one on this side here. Is it's starting to wear out. That's normally I wouldn't care, but these Warroad shirts are kind of expensive. They're pretty pricey, so I would hope for the price they wouldn't have stuff like that happening to it. With like once or twice a week wear on something like this, I would hope that it wouldn't wear out after a year or two. But we'll see. But overall, I really like it. I think it's really great. I'm not sure that it's worth the premium price, though, unfortunately, for it. I don't know, because like I said, they are pretty pricey for them. But they are really nice. If you think it's not too bad of a price, it's totally worth it then to get a nice shirt like this to wear underneath versus wearing just like a t-shirt or something, or just regular like Under Armour or compression stuff. It's kind of nice to have these little niceties that help out with things. Definitely worth it if your elbow pads have problems, because these do work great, even though they're a little bit of a pain to put on. Hopefully that was a useful and helpful review for you guys and answered questions that you had on the Warroad shirts, how they fit, how they are, how they perform, and how they hold up, and if they're worth it or not. If you have any other questions, feel free to throw them down into the comments. And as always, we appreciate any likes or subscribes and comments. Always welcome. Appreciate it a lot. Thanks, everybody. See you in the next one.
Thanks for sticking around. I wanted to let you know that we added the ability to text the show. If you check out any of the show notes for any of the newer episodes, you'll see a link called Text the Show. Just click that and it'll open up your text app of choice. There, you'll see a code automatically inserted into your text message. Please leave that there. That makes sure your message gets routed to the show properly. Add your message and just send it away. We only get to see your area code, so if you want to include your name to be mentioned, make sure you include that in your message. Give show topics you'd like to see, comment on previous episodes, tell us what we missed, or what book, movie, YouTube video we should be checking out. All the messages are seen, and most go into planning what we do next, or get mentioned in a shorts episode recapping what we missed. Thanks for listening.